Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby 83 with another Mr. Hornsby 83 review. This time I'm doing the X-Men Apocalypse, the movie. And let me get something out of the way right before I start this review. I don't know what movies these freaking critics were watching that was freaking giving this movie a bad review and saying this movie was worse than freaking X-Men Last Stand. They're full of crap. They're either stupid or they're biased, which I'll get more into that with my freaking spoiler review tonight or tomorrow night. Tonight I'm doing a non-spoiler review because I guess, and I'm also going to talk about how that might have affected the movie when me and my family went and seen it. I'll talk about that in the spoiler review tomorrow. But yeah, X-Men Apocalypse to me, second best X-Men movie next to Days of Future Past. Reason why it's not number one is because there was a few things that I did notice. Like there was one or two scenes where you noticed a little bit of the CGI showing through, but it wasn't too bad. One part was at the beginning, and another part was somewhere in the middle of the movie. But I mean, I think this movie was great, and my family liked it too. My kids liked it. And I really like what they did with all the characters in this movie. And a lot of people I know they're saying, oh, Jennifer Lawrence's performance in this, she was phoning it in. I don't know. It didn't look like, and I'm not a Jennifer Lawrence defender at all. I loved Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. But I kind of like Jennifer Lawrence in the first one as Mystique, but she was too much not Mystique. And then in X-Men Days of Future Past, you did see her as Mystique more. But I don't think she phoned it in. I think she put on her best effort. I don't know what other people seen. Yeah, there might have been a couple lines that she did that was pretty bad, but other than that, really didn't seem like she did too bad in the movie, and she didn't freaking hold the movie back. Also, the way they introduced all the characters, pretty awesome. The way Apocalypse got his horsemen was awesome. The beginning reminded me of another movie I really loved a long time ago. It came out in the 90s, which I'll talk about that in a spoiler review tomorrow. But, and really, I've heard a couple people that even gave it good reviews, so there was a couple holes in the story. Now look, I didn't go to this movie being full-on fanboy. I was looking for things to criticize in this movie, but I really couldn't find nothing because the movie had me sucked in from the moment it started till the moment it ended, especially at the beginning. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And the scene that was, revealed of Wolverine, the way they did that, I loved it. It was great. Straight from the comics, and I can't wait to talk about that more in my spoiler review tomorrow because that was one of my favorite things about the movie. Not only that, the end credit scene, which a couple people, even people at the movie, I don't think realized what it meant. I knew what it meant because one, I'm a big fan of this guy. Two, I got a giant X-Men book that tells the story of all the characters in the X-Men. I've also read the comics. I've watched the cartoon. I became an X-Men fan initially in the 92 cartoon. Then I started reading the comics, as you see in my Ultimate X-Men collection. I don't think a couple people didn't realize what that meant. I did right away. I'm like, yeah. I had, like I said, I kind of cheated and peeked ahead on that. I was like, ugh, I knew there had to been an end credit scene at the end of this movie. One thing I didn't like, which is just my personal preference on it, because I kind of like the character in the previous two, although he wasn't in the other one much. He wasn't in Days of Future Past that much, but I'll talk about that in the spoiler review. I loved, man, I could give two, and I know a lot of people loved him in Force Awakens, but I gave 2 cares about Poe Dameron in Force Awakens. Maybe they've utilized him better in the next Star Wars movie, Episode 8, but I could give 2 craps about him in that. But I loved him as Apocalypse, and I was one of the ones that really talked about I didn't like the fact that he was too short to play Apocalypse. But that really changed my opinion when I watched it. James McAvoy, you could tell throughout the whole X-Men thing, you could tell this is his franchise now. And I want to see McAvoy come back and Fassbender come back as Magneto and Xavier. Jennifer Lawrence, yeah, go Wapes. All the freaking press tours she's done heading into this movie. Like I heard about, hers on Jimmy Fallon talking about, if you don't want to see X-Men Apocalypse, don't go see it. Stupid. Also, I think she was complaining about a couple things on the Graham Norton show, because I watched it last week with her and James McAvoy, and I don't really watch the Graham Norton show. But, like I said, it seemed like she didn't hold the movie down, and yeah, maybe her heart wasn't into it, but it did seem like she did do a little bit better performance than other people's giving her credit for. And also, I'm starting to think that there is a freaking bias by certain critics, because a couple critics that I seen reviewed it said the same stuff about X-Men Apocalypse that they were saying about Batman v Superman, but I'll get more into that with my spoiler tomorrow. I'll give my score tomorrow. I really like the movie. I'm sure you guys know where I'm going, but I'll give the score in the spoiler review so I can talk about everything I want to talk about in the movie. But I loved it. Second favorite X-Men movie, second best X-Men movie. I know a lot of people say, the First Class and X2. Yeah, I like First Class. X2, I think, is more overrated than anything. I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but it's overrated. But check out the spoiler review if you've seen the movie. If you haven't, wait till you see the movie. So please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Follow me on my Facebook fan page, Mr. Hornby 83 Topics. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Hornby 83, and you'll get my score and my spoiler review tomorrow. And I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with the praise I'm giving this movie. Peace out.